Alright boys, today we're going to be going over first dates. If you guys watched the previous video, you should know how to get a woman on a first date, as I showed you guys exactly how to do that from text. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I'd probably look at watching that now if you haven't secured a date yet. Now this is personally how we handle first dates. I have tried this method many times and it seems to work. Date 1, I like to keep this one short. If you guys are looking for sex, that's completely different and it's something we will cover on a completely different episode. But for now, this is for girls that you are taking out on a date and you see as a potential girlfriend or someone that you want to spend a lot of time with. They may be wife material, they have some good qualities as a high profile woman. Okay, so date 1, we like to keep this one short and sweet. Either meet at a coffee shop or for a drink in the afternoon or in the day. I preferably prefer a coffee shop. In this date, boys, try not to blabber on about yourself. Remember, nobody cares about you or your life story. Nobody wants to be your emotional support, especially a woman that you're taking a date on. On this date, get to know her, ask her interesting questions, ask her about her family, ask her about her friends, see what she does for work. If you're on vacation in a certain area, for example, if you're in Bangkok, ask her what she thinks of Bangkok. Ask her if she's going on any vacations. When you're responding to some of her answers, try and paint pictures in her head. Maybe she wants to go to a certain place to do a certain activity. Paint pictures in her head that maybe she can do this in the future with you. If you're looking to compliment her on this date, I would rather compliment an item of clothing or a facial feature instead of just her in general. I feel like a lot of women appreciate compliments a lot more if it's like this rather than just saying you're sexy, you're beautiful, i.e. because that's what 99% of men with no game say. If you like an item of her clothing, maybe be like, I like that bracelet, or I like your necklace, I like your hair. Something like that, just keep it subtle. And then because on this first date we are not looking to have sex, it is not our intention. So what we will do is we will leave abruptly. We will leave just when things are starting to get good. You know, when a date is starting to get good, the conversation's flowing, smiling back and forth. This is when we have to leave because this is when we will really start to get in our head, which is what we want out of the situation, especially if we want this mistress to potentially be our future girlfriend. Leave her for work. That's why it's easier if you meet for a coffee in the day because it is more of an excuse to leave for work. When you leave, she'll be thinking, fuck, that was getting good. I wish we could have carried on for longer. These are the thoughts that will be going through her head and she will be sat there most likely thinking about you. For the next day, you will be in her head and she will be waiting for that text from you to give her the comfort that she wanted, as she really likes you, she had a good first date and she's really interested in you. For that whole first day, because we are working, we're not going to text her, that we're not going to be a simp and we're not going to show any interest until the next morning, where we will pop up and say, hi, I really enjoyed last night. Do you want to meet me for dinner on Friday night at XYZ restaurant? That will be the message she was looking forward to. She will respond yes. Second date is when we start to get a little bit more spicy and we can start to wrap things up. Try to keep texting as a minimal, as we are high profile men. We are busy trying to conquer the world. The more we text and the more interest we show, the more we simp out, the less interested in us she is going to be. Date 2, this time we can stay for a bit longer. As a location, I say a bar or a restaurant is good, like a nice restaurant where you have some personal space, you can sit down, smile, let the conversation flow. This time we're going to be charming, we're going to be dressed up nice, have a nice shirt on, some nice trousers, some nice shoes, drench yourself in aftershave, make sure you smell good. Engage in conversation, of course keep speech about yourself to a minimal, we don't want to be going on about random shit. She's not our emotional support. Don't be going on about your cryptos going up and this and that, she's just going to think you're a nerd. If you want to talk about anything about yourself, talk about aspiration. Aspiration isn't a bad thing to talk to a woman about. It shows you're a hard-working guy. And women want hard-working guys. Women want a man that can support them and look after them. Although the goal is to take this girl home after this date, of course, that's what we all want. Forget about that while you're on the date. Go into the date with the mindset of, I'm not taking this girl home. Completely forget that that's even a possibility because we want to enjoy it, engage in conversation and just enjoy ourselves. Always remember to smile. Smiling is always good and women love a guy that's got a nice smile. When the date is over and you've had a great time, of course you can ask the question, do you want to come back with me, watch a film? If she says yes, buy the taxi home and go home and have a good time. If she says no, or she's busy or she has something to do, don't pressure her, don't keep going on about it. Let her go home and see if she messages you after the date. Maybe she was just busy or she was nervous at the time, and maybe you can do it again in the future, but don't put any pressure on her to come back with you. That is how I handle the first and the second date when beginning a relationship.